It is us, me, and the others, and you. What a gang. What a peak lot of peeps that we are. Even Mike. Today, let's be good to Mike. He's doing his best. And you know, sometimes that's bad, but sometimes it's good. Welcome to this episode 1, part 4 of Star Trek Iskandar Hysteresis. If that joke has sailed over your head, then I apologize. We're in a time loop. It'll all become clear, or not, as the case may be. We are the crew of the USS Iskandar. We are Emily, Izzy, Kath, and Mike, who are here for your delight and your suffering. We are the crew of the USS Iskandar, and we Hot Seat GM, who is taking it in turns to torment the rest of the players. And this adventure, our tormentor is Emily, who has decided to run an episode of such complexity that sometimes you just got to give up and have a cup of tea and sit down and just pretend that nothing bad has happened and it's all fine.
I mean, arguably, nothing bad has happened.
Arguably.
When someone says that, you know that the something hinky's going on. But that being said, I think it is, without further ado, I'm quite able to just hand over to Emily, who can fill you in or not, however much they wish to, and let's get right on with the fucking adventure. I swore. I made that decision. I'm a grown-up, and I'm allowed to say swears.
Well.
Shit.
That's it. That's all I've got to say on the subject.
Yeah, and Mike and Kath have made their feelings known as well. So, yes, welcome back to session 8 of Hysteresis. What do you mean you only saw the previous 3? You definitely were all here for the other 4 that happened. It's not my fault you can't remember it.
Gaslighting with the trash crew.
Make a will check, see if you remember. No, it's actually part 4 of Hysteresis, which is episode 15, I think, of Iskandar.
Yes, yes, it is.
Yay! Got one of the numbers right. And yes, the crew of the USS Iskandar are in a time loop situation. At the end of the last episode, we had a time loop. One of the loops come to an end with the explosion of the USS Krasnikov, which has now exploded about 5 times. And will keep exploding, maybe. Maybe it'll be infinite. Maybe this is all that Star Trek Iskandar will be forevermore. Let's find out. Can you all make me will checks for the start of this next lovely loop?
I already have, but I'm going to roll the dice for
I think
Foley.
we
Sound
all
effects.
pre-rolled because we knew something shunky was going to happen.
Sound effects.
I mean, you say you knew something shocking was
Sound
going to happen.
effects.
This is like the 6th time you guys have done this.
Yeah, I'm not saying that knowing about it was a
I'm
brave thing.
glad I pre-rolled because I got very, very boring, like plus and minus ones on those fake rolls that I did.
Give me
there.
the interesting ones.
Yeah.
Kath, give me the interesting ones.
So
Start with you.
Captain Athan, -2.
Son of a
Yay!
biscuit.
Strong.
Lieutenant Reyes, 6.
Great.
Oh, nice.
Great.
Nice.
Kalev Elrad, 1.
You're doing it, new dad.
He's got a +3 will. He is not good at this.
Keeps
somehow.
rolling
He
garbage.
keeps rolling hot garbage.
Science boy and strong boy.
Science boy, 7. Strong boy, 1.
Good football scores there. And meanwhile, over at the Borough of Talandra match.
In the very weird Borough of Talandra match, Lieutenant Commander Talandra 1, Dr. Burov -3. Match called off due to weird paradox.
Well, one
I
second.
maintain Arcady is going to run in the epilogue of this episode and go, time loop.
By the way, we were in a time loop.
I'm so looking forward to the point where we have a Zal and Borov loop. where they are the
Zal-
only ones who remember a goddamn thing.
Zal figures this out next time you run.
Yes, perfect. Right.
I mean, we keep saying this. There's nothing wrong with Zal's will score. Zal has
No.
as good a will
Yeah, no,
score as any but Casey and Elrad. And just as Casey is not strictly, Casey's generally overperformed, not as wildly as Talandra, whilst Elrad has rolled negative in all but one loop.
One sec while I copy paste shit over to people.
Sounds rather on the low end of average. Reyes is quite average. Reyes is where it. On the whole, I've been rolling garbage on these will checks, but
Nope. What's this on? -2. Yeah, goody.
I love skeptic mum. It's great.
it's more interesting. The problem is the moment that a Thon rolls well, then we're probably at a relatively efficient loop.
You say that. I thought I might be the only person who remembers a damn thing.
That's true.
Right. And
Everything is fine.
everything's fine. Burov, Talandra, you've had that. And has everybody had everything for all their characters? I think you should have all had everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Cool. Cool. Who wants to kick us off then? After
I need to know that it's stardate 57394.24,
394.24 and that it's a new date on the Iskandar, that the ship is on course with Starbase 328 to pick up scientific supplies to courier to another outpost and is currently carrying non-urgent medical supplies for the Starbase. You need to know that?
Yeah. What's the Iskandar currently doing?
The Iskandar is currently cruising past the 31 Cygni system and is set to arrive at the Starbase in about 3 days. Everything's fairly quiet.
I think we haven't had that many Reyes starts. So
We
I think
haven't. No, we've generally started, I think, with either Talandra, Burov, or Casey.
yeah, because Reyes has never.
I think we've had an Athan start once.
Yes, I think the first one was an Athan start, maybe the second one. But
The
yeah,
first one might well have been an Athan start. Yeah.
but yeah, we've not had a Reyes start. Last time, in fact, when she remembered stuff, but not everything, we cut to halfway through Reyes making her team's lives a living hell.
Yeah.
So Reyes is the kind of person who needs to have the most annoying, intense, ear-piercing fucking alarm clock setting to help get her out of bed in the morning. It is for once instantly turned off as she rolls out of bed, rolls into uniform, over to the computer and bringing up what's the date, where are we, what the fuck is going on, who am I, what is the situation, stops, Reyes to engineering.
Strange, I'll pick up that. Yes, Chief?
How's everything going down there? Everything normal?
Yes. Yes, I'm just starting off the diagnostics and preparing the morning briefing for the day of what's happened on the night shifts.
Good. All right. Well, keep it up. I'm gonna be a little bit. Got some other business to attend to before I'm down in main engineering. So we'll push the morning briefing back a bit, but I'll be there. So this isn't an excuse to slack.
No, of course not.
All right. Reyes out. Hangs up. And then Reyes is gonna do like a weird prowl, like en route to the bridge of like sticking her head in the mess hall and basically scoping out other people to see who's acting weird. Probably with a bit of a priority because of her recollections of Talandra and Casey. Maybe for once we see a normal breakfast between Talandra and Elrad.
Without a doubt, the first person she passes though is Dr. Burrow.
Chirpy as anything.
Good morning, Lieutenant Reyes.
Morning, Doctor.
Good morning again, twice, 2 good mornings. You owe me one for tomorrow.
Right. Great. Awesome. Okay. Scampers down the corridor.
Scampering, is it?
If we ever for once in our life do now see the normal version of the Talandra Elrad breakfast, it is however cut up by like Reyes' head sticking out from the background to kind of scope out the situation.
I think she probably approaches the door and she thinks she hears like the technology is incredibly advanced and theoretically very dangerous. But I think that it's Vidrain's use of trains as metaphor that really expressed Cardassia's relationship with change.
And the speed of change as well, because such a rapidly developing technology.
It connects me a lot, I think, with Earth culture, and then like just
all of his hair just disappearing behind the corner.
Yes, Talandra and Elrad are having just a nice, normal breakfast. Talandra
occasional engineering gremlin peeking around the door.
Talandra has a cup of coffee. She has a pad in front of her. I think as Reyes vanishes, we see like the ever so slight crease of Talandra's brow as she's like, and then just literally takes a sip, goes back to what she's doing, and I'm glad for them.
Yes. Elrad is somewhat the same. There's a bit of a yeah, I think that Reyes will then probably like get some fake excuse to get to the bridge, and probably what happens there is very dependent on what's happening to poor sweet Sam Casey, who remembers exploding next to Strange and wakes up.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he? How's he taking that?
Tell
us about the
well.
boys' morning.
The boys have a pretty bad morning.
How's the boy this morning?
He's because again, it kind of like Casey and Kulba from Disco have like that sometimes similar mannerisms, and I feel like it's very Kulba-esque in like he's just wandering, slightly muttering to himself in a corridor in a very disjointed way, like pointing at people occasionally as they go by and kind of going, "That was yesterday. No, that was today. And then he is going to the bridge, but everything is a distraction as he's trying to retain like any coherency in his thoughts. He is avoiding engineering. he has no reason to go down there anyway, but he doesn't want to.
I feel like Reyes arriving on the bridge and just sort of squirrely looking around before latching eyes with Casey is going to be like that "It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia" meme with staring at each other across a crowd in front.
I was thinking from what you call it, Umbrella Academy season 2, the cars passing each other. Well, yeah, he's just stood at a console, frowning, whittering. The doors open, looks over, and like, yeah, it's no words, just the kind of a squint and the slight dip of his head that asks the question of, "You can remember."
Reyes scurries over, like back to the rest of the bridge, leaning over the front of the science console.
I don't know how many times we've done this.
No, not a fucking clue.
I can remember everything, but I can remember multiple everythings.
But it's... I was going to say it's getting jumbled, but I don't know if it was always jumbled. But we've got the dead drop. If the dead drop works,
yes,
then we're not crazy.
I don't think we're crazy.
We're a little bit crazy.
I may be feeling a little bit crazy.
So no one else. Also, the commander, not a sausage.
What about the captain? And then, like, he looks over his shoulder at the captain.
Hassan, like...
And he just kind of ducks back into Reyes. No. Okay. I remember trying to explain things at some point, and that didn't go well.
She's gonna think we're mental.
Or that we have a hero complex.
I don't think she's gonna think I've got a hero complex.
She thinks
but
that
I'm
I
not
have a hero.
talking to her.
No, I don't. I think, what's the best way that we can do this without rousing too much suspicion?
Check the comms.
Okay.
Get the comms. That's how we have a thing. Because also, if we're going to do this, we're talking about all of the calculations it's going to take. We would need to figure out, we're going to need to modify the deflector array to become a parabolic emitter, and there are fine-tuned calibrations on that, which I remember looking at. And I should remember that if it was only either yesterday or approximately 14 million years ago.
Comms first.
Comms.
Deal with what we can deal with.
Yes.
I'm looking for the dead drop. Boop, boop.
Cool. You're doing yourself a scan.
Yeah.
Cool. Give us an ops roll.
Those die cancel themselves out. So that is...
So that's whatever your ops
2.
score is then. 2. Okie dokie. You get on the scanners. Rhea's kind of hovering over your shoulder. Going, clunk, clunk,
Not like that. Like the back seat opsing.
Yeah. So you scan where you expect the dead drop to be, or where you think you expect the dead drop to be.
But the when
where you expect the dead
to as well.
But you get a faint signal that matches roughly the frequency that you remember setting the dead drop for.
We're about to be kicked off the bridge because I think the moment we get a blip, it's the like
Yeah, Athan, how are you reacting to your chief engineer and your science officer being just two absolute gremlins in the corner?
Lieutenants, is everything all right? Yeah, we're just,
Yes.
You asked us to make sure that we were going to be recalibrating everything. And the subspace communications array, this is a good opportunity to realign it. And we're just really into recalibrating the subspace communication systems. It's
perfect.
Reyes is then going to bullshit-a-thon with like techno babbling at her about the intricacies of this. On the, she knows how captains work. They eventually lose interest if the chief engineer tries to explain too much to them, which I think will result of carry on, Mike.
No, I'm not like it would. I almost feel like this scene could be played that they're both chipping into it, but I think this is Reyes talking in her area of expertise. So I want to give some degree of help or advantage by nodding enthusiastically.
I'm imagining that this is basically the equivalent of Reyes just kind of going technobabble in case he occasionally popping up over his shoulder going, yeah.
Stars, not today.
I don't want to ban that bot.
Ban the bot, Michael.
Papa John's mac and cheese. How could you betray us like
ban
this?
I think they do mac and cheese. Apparently, KFC in America do mac and cheese.
Anyway, Papa John's mac and cheese has been banned.
I was really chicken. Yeah, but like they do the beans and the slaw, but apparently they also do a mac and cheese side.
Nope, don't agree with
like
that. Like I like mac and cheese, but not with
chicken.
Not with chicken. Also,
yes, Papa John's
made me nearly snot coffee out my nose.
Is abysmal. It's the devil's.
It's terrible.
I'm not going to say the word I was going to say.
Anyway,
Papa John's pizza is some of my favorite pizzas.
I like the pizza, but the dip's bad.
The dip's bad.
I never like dip on anything.
Fair enough.
I think pizza now.
Moving back from our anti-sponsored content.
Papa John, send me a pizza. I'm so hungry.
I think Athard's response is just a carry on, but if you could hold your enthusiasm together, please.
Yes, Captain.
Okay.
I lied to the captain.
Oh, you sweet boy. You sweet stupid boy. We're gonna
big dum-dum.
we're gonna take Captain. We're gonna take this down for analysis. It sounds like gives a real like what the fuck ever look. Let's take it down to the lab.
Casey's back is very straight, ironically, as he
something about
leaves.
It has to be, I guess.
But the legs, like the closer they get to the turbo door, the faster they're moving.
Turbo lift door's shut. Reyes is like, right, so no one on the bridge seems to have a clue.
No.
So, no captain, no Kantos, no Kowalski. Zal didn't.
He would not say Talandra. What about the commander?
The commander didn't, not a sausage. She was just having breakfast with the Cardassian.
Barov? Linkovich?
No, the doctor's nothing going on there with the doctor. And I don't think Strange knows anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you've dodged a phaser blast there.
I think that's just a phaser blast that's coming for me at a different time.
Yeah, see, normally it's just like the same people reliving it over and over and over. But it could have been us, but definitely wasn't once me, and now it's not Talandra. So we can't assume that anyone's not going to remember if we do something weird.
There's probably, in fact, I can even remember loosely times where I've been oblivious to this.
Yeah. There was definitely one time when you and the commander had to like bring me up to speed on everything.
Okay, so we need to assume that whatever we can achieve this time around, it needs to be future-proof.
We can't necessarily remember.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you future-proof anything other than success or more dead drops? And the more information we start dumping, the more likely it is we'll lose something.
Well, let's think of the deflector array. You said that that's going to be the most complicated problem to solve. We can dedicate all the time that we need to solving that problem and then make that a part of the dead drop information packet.
So you're saying that we could just try this time to get Calcut to run some calculations?
Possibly. I think to be realistic, I don't think we can solve this in just one go. I think this is going to take bit by bit.
Yeah. Oh, maybe we could discreetly try. No, maybe we could talk to someone on the Krasnikov
Maybe.
discreetly.
But who?
I mean, I could try to talk to Commander Araz, but I don't think she's going to like it.
No, I think whatever we do, it can't work with Araz. The captain's always going to defer to Araz.
We could try to run an experiment. Let's run some tests. Let's run some tests. It doesn't matter if we blow up.
Haunting, but accurate.
Yeah, I don't like it.
No, I'm with you. I can pick up what you're putting down.
I mean, that's assuming that. Although this is a concern, what happens if someone dies before the Krasnikov goes? Like
terrifying.
Yeah.
Also, I can remember an instance of identifying that this is having I forget the word. Exponential damage done to the area. So we don't have infinite ghosts,
No.
but we have close to infinite.
I'm just wondering what can we do? Because frankly, as the chief engineer, I'm pretty sure that I can get that I could do anything aboard and do an adequate amount of bullshit for a few hours before anyone catches up to whatever I'm up to.
Okay. And so long as we're both adequately briefed before the end of the day,
Yes.
then
Right.
someone can carry that forwards.
Scans and quartz. We need to identify exactly the access and egress points of this. No, we know where we know where the smaller hole is. It's because that's near the Krasnikov, and it's the larger one which didn't close properly. That's the main issue. Which we still haven't. We've got coordinates of. Scanning desperately through the pad. Right, we have the location for it. Can we? You're the chief science officer. You can lie and say that there's something and we should go check it out. And we could just get the ship closer to there and get more data. Captain, I'm detecting an anomaly.
Oh, God. Yes. Okay.
And I...
to falsify some evidence of anomalies?
Yeah, well, we'll find it. Because it'll be there. And if I try to use this to figure out at least... Yeah, if we get close and to get some scans of it, that is the ascent. That's... I have to dip in with the GM here of like, what does Reyes actually think she needs? Because I've just been making shit up liberally at this point. Of what does Reyes think are the missing bits in the plan as is of get both ships to either side and do the thing. Because modifying things to the Iskandar, but presumably further data is always useful because no one's actually scanned that area.
Yeah, so what the things you're missing, you've not actually really been over to the other end of the anomaly yet. So you've not gone and checked out things at the other end. So you're missing that kind of data. As for making the modifications to the Iskandar, you've got kind of the rough back of an envelope version of the calcs. So you would now need to go in and do the actual detailed calculations of this is exact, rather than just like, the deflector array needs moving about this much. If you want to do it right, you'll need to go, and the deflector array needs moving by precisely this amount. We need to have the warp core running at exactly this level of intensity, and we need to focus it like this and do this and that. So it's the fine for the Iskandar, it's the fine details, and then actually making the modifications that are missing, and obviously, of course, making the modifications.
A certain amount of manpower issues of
a certain amount of throw engineers at the problem until it goes away. Once you've got here is the thing I want you to do, don't ask too many questions.
The primary thing is absence of data and then the necessary calculations and modifications based off that data.
Yes,
right.
And then of course communication with the Krasnikov so that you actually
we both do the thing
so that you can both do the thing exactly. But in terms of things that are not going to be reset every loop, as far as you're aware.
Mhm.
It's the fine details of the calcs.
Yeah. Right, yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
fuck, we're gonna die again.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Listen, look, the problem is there's no win here because either I can curl up into a ball in the corner of the turbo lift and freak out sobbing about the fact that we're going to die, or I can be fine about the fact that we're going to die. And I don't think either of those is one of those might be a healthy reaction, but there's no combination which is both healthy and useful.
This is why it was better when the Vulcan had all the memories, because she got to get over the existential shit real quick.
Well, I'll try
Go-
and be as good company as possible.
Good. All right. Can you lie to the captain?
Yes.
Are we gonna have to practice this?
Yes.
Okay, right. Let's get down to astrometrics. Let's get some shit. Let's get some data together so you're confident about what you're saying, and we can falsify it, and then you can say it to me, and I'll try to be skeptical about it.
Yep. I need you to channel your inner Athan.
I'll try to pretend to be the captain. I think we get a montage next.
We
Sweating.
absolutely do. We absolutely
Neck
do.
towel.
We get a montage in astrometrics. It's like the scene in Red Dwarf of teaching Crichton to lie.
Oh no!
It's kind of that.
It's a
This
small
is an
off-duty
anomaly.
Czechoslovakian
It's
traffic
a-
warden.
This is an anomaly. It's a.
On the montage in Firefly when they try to break in, where they try to teach them the lines to break into the hospital, but
It's also got that kind of energy to it. But if eventually
Mhm.
you can have a run where Casey's story keeps the story straight, and it doesn't sound like crazy talk.
I'm gonna roll myself a quick.
Bath.
I was gonna say rapport, and then I looked at them. Reyes does not have any of that, so I'm not even gonna try to have Reyes figure out a means of how to best sell this to the captain.
Actually, no.
it's empathy.
Make us that roll, Kath. Either empathy or rapport.
It would be
Your
empathy. I
pick.
realized.
Um,
Oh, okay, that's a 2. So I went because
Okay.
I first rolled a 6 and then I rolled a 5. So I was like,
Oh,
no.
oh no.
No.
But okay, no, a 2. Good to know.
Two on the empathy.
I'll bear that in mind for future trying to
Convincing.
deceive the captain.
And really, all Reyes is going to come down is she's bored.
Okay.
Motivation is I'm a bored and cranky captain. So you need to not sound annoying.
I've been told that's very difficult.
Okay. Got to slightly softly this. And if you're
as
telling
a-
captains things that they don't want to know, you've got to like bury the bit that they don't want to know. They're like startled rabbits.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. I think it's best if I'm not there
No.
because she might be suspicious.
Yes, we're going to have to hope that she's forgotten the earlier incident.
Or at least just, yeah, or at least doesn't think it's relevant. Where if she sees me there, she will think it's relevant.
Yes.
Okay, let's go. Right. Let me know when the ship is heading there, and I'm gonna. I mean, this is on you for gathering data, and then we do analysis. Okay. All right, go for it. I believe in you, Lieutenant.
Thank you. I know you might not, but I understand. Thank you.
Okay. We go. Playing the Parks and Rec gif of "Don't be suspicious."
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. Yeah, okay, so
Right.
you are practically singing that as you go up the corridor.
What
you
is
go
the
to
techno
the
babble
bridge.
that I'm going to be using? Let's iron this out.
I think it's almost legit. But it's just suggesting that you've identified what will turn out to be the anomaly like a distance away. So, you know, there is getting indications of some peculiarities in subspace, but at range you can't identify this. And like, I think weird shit in subspace is probably the kind of thing a ship is more likely to go, let's just take a little looksy-dooksy. So yes, I'm just like, just go with it.
Being, of course, the technical stuff.
Yeah, looksy-dooksy after the subspace thingamajig. Subspace anomaly, which you can't make out all the details on long-range sensors.
All right, let's do it.
Here's a key question to this scenario. Is Talandra on the bridge by the time this happens?
I mean, you seem to have been doing quite a lot of montaging.
Yes.
Like, probably.
I'd say this is about mid-morning at this point.
She finishes her breakfast. She's had a lovely time, and she heads up to start her shift. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, Commander. It looks as if you're keeping the senior staff sufficiently active during our routine operations.
Yes, I'm aware that it's important that we put the officers through their paces to ensure that we are ready for anything, Captain.
That certainly seems to be working.
For most people, Captain, yes.
Quite. Enter Casey.
Enter.
Doors open.
Samuel
Oh,
Gremlin
Captain!
Casey.
Oh, Cap like sprints to the console.
There,
You get it.
Anomaly!
Hark! Doth yonder anomaly.
What
Drops
anomaly
to his
through
knees
yonder
weeping.
Muserine breaks?
Captain!
Subspace.
Goes over to his console. He doesn't do it immediately. He's doing regular
Just initially
scans.
breaks to Shakespearean science babble.
No, he's actually because he's a proponent of the best lies running parallel to the truth. He's got to set up like a series of scans, including the area, and wait for that to proc. If nothing else, he wants the little sound effect chime on the console too, and then slight breath. Captain, I'm detecting a peculiar subspace anomaly in one of the adjacent systems.
Elaborate?
I'm afraid there's only so much I can elaborate. The readings are few, but there is a pattern enough to suggest that there might be something unusual out there. I would need to have our sensors a little closer in order to get a full suite of data.
How much closer?
He gives an estimate.
How far out of our way is this going to be, GM? Like an hour?
Yeah, it depends how long he wants to stick around by the thing.
Yeah.
It'll take you about an hour to kind of get over its position. It is the other side of the star system.
Yeah.
To
Now,
where you guys are at the minute.
I missed part of this scheming. Is this an actual anomaly that Casey's picked up? Or is it he started the machine that goes ping and goes, hark, anomaly?
So, and correct me if I'm wrong, right, Mike could have misunderstood how this goes, but it's Casey has come in with a plan of, right, I'm going to tell the captain about the anomaly, has made the machine look for the thing, it has gone ping, and basically as soon as it's gone ping, he's gone, Captain, I found an anomaly that I think we should have a look at.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're essentially
the
trying to lead
unusual-
it to the falsifying data to lead us to the real one.
Completely
Yeah.
reasonable. Only because Casey's a shit liar, and Talandra. I rolled an empathy check just to see if Talandra would consider his behavior hinky. She does.
Sure.
But like
Also, Casey, make me a deceive check because you
Yeah.
are candidates, and this does work both ways.
of course.
I guess I'm going to
He might,
preemptively...
he might roll really well on deceive.
course.
Probably.
Oh,
won't.
okay,
One.
I'm going to at least
Okay, so
roll
that's
an
what you're
empathy
working off
check
opposite
for
for an empathy
Athan.
check.
Okay. Actually, Athan does not roll... Athan rolls better than... But Athan
You're
only
looking
gets
to roll more than a
two.
1.
Yeah, Athan
You're looking
Athan
to roll
only gets
more
a
than a 1.
2. But that's like he's being weird. He was being weird earlier. But
from a science perspective, like one of the weirdest thing he's done is he set off, and even like reviewing the data on his console, he set off 3 scans, and then one of them happened to be the anomaly. There's no strict pattern to those scans.
Also, that's a very quick turnaround from ping to Captain. I think you should have a look at this anomaly.
Yeah. The only reason I rolled is because Talandra is suspicious, but she, having done a cursory, like, she can check his console from where she is. She's like, correct. Yeah. He's not lying about this. So she's. I'm waiting, but that's just the camera focuses on Talandra's face being.
There's an eyebrow.
Yeah, but she doesn't get involved.
I think Athan is officially he's had too much coffee today, but that's not necessary. It doesn't necessarily mean he's lying to me.
Note to engineering: make the replicators give the boy less sugar.
Yeah.
And fewer E numbers.
Well, that's been debunked now. The future, they definitely don't think that.
Lieutenant, we do have an important business. If we are at all delayed for Starbase 328, I'm going to have to account for why. So I want you to be crystal clear before you suggest that we take off at least a 2-hour delay, and that's if we arrive and immediately turn around.
I will run some secondary diagnostics before I fully make that recommendation.
Athan will kind of give Talandra just. Imagine Casey just literally mumbles poop to himself rather than running.
I will
miming.
I will discuss. Cannon. I will discuss his Ractogino intake, Captain. Perhaps, Lieutenant, you can accompany me to Astrometrics and we can run a full diagnostic.
Certainly.
I'm not asking for a full diagnostic. I'm just saying I want you to be sure before we redirect. Sticking around to consider if we're redirecting is just more time wasting.
Captain, we should pass the diagnostic through the deflector array and verify the lieutenant's findings.
Very well, but get it done quickly.
Yes, Captain. And Talandra leaves. Casey thinks he's nailed it, and as soon as the door to the bridge is done, they get in the turbo lift. Talandra sends them to Astrometrics, and she stands there and says, "Lieutenant, would you care to tell me what is going on?"
We're in a time loop. There is an experimental warp drive aboard the ship. I'm going to get it wrong again. Hold on, I've lost audio as well. One sec. Karashnikov? No. Oh, come on. That was so close.
No, it wasn't. It's as far away. That's actually further away than your other attempts were.
What is it? Krasnikov. Krasnikov. I'm going to write that down.
As you should
I'd
have done.
write it out phonetically, but that's basically it phonetically.
There is a ship called the Krasnikov with an experimental warp drive. It has inadvertently left what is essentially a hole between 2 points of subspace, which will detonate its drive and cause a seemingly unending time loop. I'm currently working with Lieutenant Reyes to try and get a little bit more information ready for us this go around.
And you are looking for evidence of this
The
experimental drive?
The anomaly is there. The experimental drive is aboard the ship. The ship has detonated the multitudinous times that I have lived through this exact same morning. All I am seeking to do is we've been able to secure essentially a dead drop, a packet of information that has been able to retain itself between loops. I want to furnish as much information as possible upon that dead drop so that next time we're a little closer to a solution.
Then we shall perform the diagnostic as we instructed the captain. Should I see the evidence in this dead drop, I will be happy to take your findings to the captain. But until then, we hold our course.
Thank you.
If, as you say, is true, that is very disturbing, Lieutenant.
Yes, Commander. Previous attempts to try and bring the captain on board where she has not retained any information about this have been unsuccessful.
Can anyone else verify this other than you and Lieutenant Reyes?
At this juncture, I do not think so. Maybe tomorrow.
Commander Talandra to Lieutenant Reyes.
Reyes here.
Normal Reyes here.
I'm not doing anything.
Totally normal.
I have
Yes.
no right to
hello,
deceive.
hello, Commander.
Lieutenant, what are you what tasks are you currently doing?
I'm observing and running diagnostics on the deflector array.
Meet me in astrometrics, please, Lieutenant.
I was asked by Lieutenant Casey to conduct some of these diagnostics, and I think he considered it somewhat relevant. So, is this urgent, Commander?
I imagine the discovery of the imminent detonation of both our ship and the Krasnikov would be very urgent, Lieutenant.
Oh, you fucked it. On my way, Commander.
And Talandra raises an eyebrow at Casey and then is quiet for the rest of the journey.
He's just staring at a wall, willing the Krasnikov to just show up and blow up.
We get to the thing, boop boop, no dead drop. Ah well, time to die.
I
Yeah.
love this team up so much.
Reyes goes to astrometrics.
Talandra will help,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly she is basically holding her judgment. She is humoring them until she sees the evidence, and then... But, like...
It's Starfleet. You don't tell your officers when they come to you with something batshit and they want evidence to, like, shut up and get back in your hole.
Yeah. But also she's like, we're not going to the captain until there's some proof.
Not when you're like this.
Because it's different when she can physically explain her own emotions, but she can't vouch for... Again, Reyes is more trustworthy because Reyes doesn't come with mad schemes.
But on the other hand, Reyes is the engineering's bin gremlin.
Talandra doesn't mistrust you because you're a bin gremlin.
You need to do a lot worse.
That implies that she mistrusts Casey for different reasons. But yeah, yes, Reyes will get down to astrometrics. And if Talandra isn't really asking questions, then Reyes is not going to volunteer them, because that's not how you deal with cooperating command staff, because they get nervous when you tell them things.
Talandra, when she walks in, Talandra is helping Casey just find the dead drop, but will give over the station she's at to Reyes because Reyes knows what she's doing.
I mean, we've got dead drop. We want to find the anomaly.
Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the connection of the two things.
So yeah, we'll...
I imagine, therefore, if she has access to the dead drop, Talandra will be bringing up the information in a visual format so that should they find the anomaly, the visual formats will match and people will go, same hat.
Yeah.
And
Yes, there'll be a certain amount of, we're looking for this. Spoon feed the information out. Yeah, so I
And
guess
again,
we're...
Talandra is unsettlingly unreadable, so Reyes is like, what's about to happen? We're about to be arrested.
So what what Reyes and Casey need to do is to basically find just a little bit more evidence on long-range sensors to convince the captain to move the ship closer. That's really what this exercise is about. So I guess it's mostly a Casey job.
That's what I'm doing.
Cool. So what are you actually doing here then? Is this just getting the kind of scans together, or are you using the data you've got from the scans and what you've got from the dead drop and going mash the two together until we have a convincing case?
I don't think this is a case building go around. This is very much a furnishing the future. If there's anything that we
But don't we still need to get closer? Because Athan
That,
didn't
no,
sign
you're,
off on
you're
getting
dead
do,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
we need
no.
to get closer. So what we need
So
to
you
do
need to
is
build a case for moving the Iskandar to the
Yeah.
And on the one
anomaly.
hand, Athan didn't ask for like this to take forever, but at least that suggests that Athan isn't asking for like a cast iron case, but more than like, my bloop went bloop. Let's derail the ship for several hours at a time.
Talandra is looking for my bloop went bloop. It matches this other bloop.
Yeah.
Also, theory.
Yeah. So it's run some scans on long range sensors and let Casey put together a bit more of a convincing package.
Yeah.
Cool. That sounds like it's probably a science check.
I'd love it to be a science check. That would be the greatest thing.
I'm sure you would. I'm just going to check whether that's... Yeah, I think it is going to be a science check because it's not any of the others. Arguably rapport, but that's a stretch. So make a science roll.
At present, we're still not trying. This, in fact, of all things,
This
isn't about trying to bamboozle the captain. So
no, exactly. Like this is very much like build the science case together.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 4.
Well, that's enough. You can take the data you already have from the scan you did up on the bridge to give the computer a reason to go boop. But that still gives you stuff, I guess. Nothing you didn't already know, and nothing that wasn't already in the dead drop. But now it's actually in the computer systems of the Iskandar rather than in your dead drop package signal. And you can take what you got from the dead drop and put it together and go, here is package of information about anomaly.
I guess I send it up.
Mm-hmm.
Touch badge. Wrong side. Touch badge.
It's even on your damn hoodie.
Yeah, I know. Casey to Captain Athan.
Athan here.
Transmitting to you the conclusions of the more thorough search now. It looks like the anomaly is still detectable.
There's a pause as Athan reads. Very well, Lieutenant. We'll change course and take a closer look.
Very good.
If this appears to be routine, we are not going to be sticking around, Lieutenant, so don't get your hopes up.
Of course, Captain. Thank you.
And Athan orders for the Iskandar to go take a look-see at something a little bit more interesting.
Kantos will gladly turn the ship off its current casual cruising speed and whisk the Iskandar over to the other side of the star system.
Because conveniently, the fact that Athan rolled such dog shit means that she is not in the slightly bad mood, which comes from her remembering a little but not really being sure what's going on. So the ship really wants her to either roll terribly or phenomenally and nothing in between.
Unfortunately, she's mostly rolled in between.
Yes.
Until now.
It worked well that Talandra was the one who was in between, because then it was like, time loop. And she's like, and they're like, time loop.
But
And she's
it-
like,
Maybe time loop.
Believable time loop. Yeah.
I can't believe it's not time loop.
So the ship, blinkety blink.
Yeah, ship makes its way over. How does it not like autocad us to go like quickly over there, or it's just
Relatively quickly, like non-urgent,
Alright.
but we don't want to piss around because we don't want to lose time. So it's
sure, yeah.
it's not a maximum speed kind of dealio, but it's a let's
There's
nip
a-
over there
let's-
sharpish.
Let's get the science boy his data, and then we can
Yes.
get back on track.
A step above cruising speed to
Sure.
to go take a look.
Cool. So yeah, Countess will neatly pull up the Iskandar just outside the anomaly.
Mm-hmm. I think Rhea's like down in astrometrics gonna be like, right. If you put me on the, you don't need me on the bridge.
Do you want to be on the bridge?
Is that gonna help? I think we spooked the captain earlier.
I'm 80% confident that the captain wouldn't care if you were on the bridge again.
All right, I'll just go and be on the bridge. I'll be on the bridge, but not associated with this.
Yes.
Right, yeah. I'll go first, you wrap up, and then follow.
Very good.
Is Talandra around while you two are planning?
I
Reyes is
I think
having
so,
just
yeah.
not in front of Talandra.
I think Talandra is keeping a distance, but she's basically like, not quite helicopter parenting. She's like whatever the ring outside of helicopter parenting is. She's in the biggest electron shell. She's just watching like,
Yeah, Reyes isn't hiding. Like, if Talandra hasn't been a fly in the ointment yet, but that's different towards enlisting her assistance.
Yeah. Talandra, if these guys are going to the bridge, Talandra will aim to be on the bridge. She's keeping an eye, not because she doesn't trust them, but just because they might need someone to step in and go, hang on, this is mad.
Yes. Reyes
It's all
will
adults stepping in.
pretend to be on the bridge for unrelated, I'm the chief engineer and I'm checking out the engineering console reasons, which she does periodically, so... I admit, it's admitted she probably did handle like the morning briefing shit a little bit with Strange, but fobbed him off. So yeah, engineering team have been mostly fobbed off by her this morning, which is a bit weird, but like I'm not sure any of them are going to dare do anything about it.
Not gonna do a damn thing about it. Just gonna wait for the other shoe to drop, because there's gonna be another shoe and we won't like it. And by we, I mean me. I'm
know-
not gonna like it.
I know he hasn't been rolling, but I imagine that it's days like this that Strange just has memories of the days that Reyes was like, now we're doing this and we're doing this and we're doing that, and Strange is like, we're not aggressively checking everything. Are we going to? Have I forgotten to do something? Is she going to ask me to do something? I'm sorry, I haven't done those diagnostics. Oh, you didn't ask for diagnostics. Oh,
Is it a time loop or a trauma reaction? Who knows?
Both.
Yeah.
With Strange, everything's a trauma reaction.
That's
to be
true.
honest.
That's true. So yeah, rock up to the bridge.
Okay, so yeah. Reyes goes onto the bridge. A short while later, Casey, you wrap up your things in astrometrics. Wait a little longer. Going, I don't want to seem too keen because it'll look sus.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'll just go to the bridge now.
We like people that are trying to hide the fact that they are dating awkwardly plan this so that we enter at different times, because if we walk down together, everyone would know that we're in a time loop and it will be awkward.
Talandra doesn't roll her eyes, but she does whatever is the equivalent of like, she's just stood there looking at her console like, just getting on with my own stuff, keeping the ship going.
Cantos looks over, raises eyebrows, goes back to what they're doing.
Fuck. It's fucked. Cantos has looked. Alright.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Move the deflector.
What are y'all doing now that you're on the bridge? And actually, next to the
Yeah.
anomaly.
By all means, Lieutenant, but please make it quick to ascertain if we're going to stick around.
Yes, Captain. And yeah, like we are at. Just so I'm clear on this, we are now at essentially the first point of the hole. We're like at the far end of the tube, or that is the anomaly.
Yeah, we're at the opposite
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, in the this
In the
metaphor,
this.
Mm-hmm.
the old school wormhole thing, the Krasnikov is here and you are here.
And we've
So,
never been here before.
And you've
Yeah.
not been there before. You've only ever been to that end of the pen and paper wormhole.
And this is the bigger end.
It's the more fucked up end.
Yes.
Yeah, like that's it. We need, I think, as much information as we can do about like the extent of the damage that's here. There's a degree to which like Casey still needs to a little bit to play the part and ascertain it, and say, oh, it looks like it was caused by a warp drive. But that's almost like secondary things he's saying just kind of distantly, as he's now hyper focusing on the actual data that he needs, in the idea of this is going in the dead drop.
Mm-hmm. We're actually for once not at pantomime this time.
Okay. Make me a science check. Well, you'll die.
10.
Bloody hell.
Yes, if you were ever going to... Well, there are probably other times you'll want us to roll well, but this was a good time to roll well.
This would have been a bad time to roll badly.
Also,
let's put it that way.
Sorry.
No.
Not 9.
I was going to say, because
9.
10 would be a critical success as well.
Yeah, no,
It's a
I
that
miscounted.
exists.
It's a 9, so I don't learn anything. I'm dumber now.
Yeah, you're an idiot. You lose all sense of how anything works and trip over your own shoelaces. Yeah, so with a 9, you set up your scans for the anomaly. You're looking for... Is there anything in particular you're looking for before I just techno-babble at you?
The main thing which Reyes wants to know about is it's the nature of the tear itself and evidence of how the warp field would have manipulated it, and basically the stuff which will be useful for figuring out, what are the subspace filaments that have been damaged, etc.
Okay, cool. Yep. Casey, anything in particular you're looking for? Because, whatever you're looking for, you're probably going to get it.
I think...
If you've got specific questions, now's the time.
I think for Casey, it's the groundwork. So ultimately, and do forgive me if I'm just repeating what you just said, Kath. Ultimately, the only way that we can see out of this is to amend the deflector array to basically protect us from the detonation. It would be great if we could save the Krasnikov.
Wait, hang on. Wait.
What?
No.
What?
No.
What do you mean no?
The plan is to close. The plan is to eventually have both ships cooperating to simultaneously manipulate the holes at either end and close it. It's just that the hole near the Krasnikov is smaller and more subtle, and the Krasnikov is designed right now to do that kind of thing. So theoretically, it will be more capable of doing the fine work. Whereas we're more likely to just grab the big hole with our ad
and
hoc
go smush.
and go smush. It's about jerry-rigging the Iskandar to be able to manipulate the subspace rift in a similar vein to how the Krasnikov is doing it, but we don't need to do everything else that the Krasnikov is doing.
Okay.
That's the plan. The plan so far does not involve sacrificing either ship. The plan so far includes both ships simultaneously closing the gap.
Very well.
Reyes brings Casey back on board with the plan. Casey puts down his blow up the Kresnikov plan. So with that 9, you get a very good look at what the nature of the damage to subspace is. It is very similar to what's at the other end that you've seen before and that you have records of in your dead drop, but more so. The tears in subspace and in space-time are bigger. The damage is more extensive as well. It covers a wider area. It's much clearer at this end where the point where the singularity would have been is, because there's a much clearer and more obvious damage pattern leading towards that central point. The other thing you get is, whilst you're trying to do the scans, it is a lot harder to do the scans at all than it was when you were at the other end. Sometimes it's lag in responses in the system. Sometimes it's responses coming back far too quickly. Like responses coming back almost before you've even finished sending out the request or moving the scanners to check a particular area. They're already there and giving you information. And then they're lagging again.
Interesting. Not unworkable around, but something I had not considered.
Who's this to?
Just to himself.
Okay.
He's hyper-focused on data right now. He doesn't really care who's listening.
Like, Reyes isn't going over there unless, asked.
That'll be included in whatever information packet we're putting together for the dead drop of anomalies that we experience, such as the delay in transportation on one end, seem to be exacerbated on this end, and that data lag is more severe. And we'll make sure that is in there too.
Simultaneously doing it a fuck.
What's Reyes up to whilst Casey's doing this?
She will be monitoring the feed. I guess she'll probably be monitoring the feed rather than directing the sensors to do anything. And will already be starting to consider, like, what's the subspace signatures that we're picking up. And again, trying to start applying this to at least, I was going to say practical theory, but start figuring out what's going to need to be done specifically to manipulate this hole in subspace.
Yeah. So given how well Casey's rolled on that, and you're looking at the information that he's getting, you get all of that information from what Casey's getting. You can see what the subspace frequencies are. You can see where that that kind of centralized point in the space-time damage is, where the kind of the microrifts all seem to be radiating out from. And you also notice the same problem with lag, both positive and negative, happening on the systems.
What's that gonna potentially do for, like, projecting essentially projecting our warp field as an emitter as opposed to a bubble? Is that going to mean, like, different sections is that going to mean we're essentially going to have an inconsistent grip on the subspace rift, lacking a better term?
Roughly, yes. Whatever grip you have on this is going to be slippery.
Different.
Because you don't think you can necessarily keep the warp emitter consistent because of the temporal issues.
Different bits will be experiencing the pressures at different times, not at the same time.
Yes.
So ways to compensate. What if the Iskandar hypothetically had a scan of every single fluctuation of the rift right across the period of time we would expect to be doing this. Because would that be something, would that allow the Iskandar to compensate for it? Like knowing this bit's going to do this at this time because we've been here before. Would that be of any use?
That would potentially be of some use if you had a detailed enough record, if you like, of what's happening to the relevant bits of the Iskandar and when. It would need to be very detailed, and you'd need to, as you say, have it happen at the right time to kind of capture the same changes in the flow of time around this singularity. But it is possible, and yes, that could work.
That would entail us sitting here for the next X hours until we blow up, basically. Is there anything? Is there anything we're missing as very smart officers?
Smart, competent, Starfleet accredited.
Because I'm aware I've mostly just been bullshitting Treknobabble at this problem.
Yeah, but it's for very good bullshit, so I've kind of just been letting it go. What kind of thing are you looking for? Are you looking for something that would give you an excuse to stay? Are you looking for something that would...
Not yet. I think
you get that information early.
Reyes is actually currently going... She's been looking at it through the lens of this specific theory, of this specific plan. But now that she's actually at ground zero, she kind of wants to take a step back and have another look at the data to try to go, okay, forget the Krasnikov, forget this plan. Can I look at this with a fresh pair of eyes and try to think of a different approach rather than be too committed to the initial idea? She's trying to do that, which is an annoying thing for me to ask you to come up with the idea, because I'm not sure, I don't have a different approach other than replicate the thing that made the problem bad in the first place. Like reverse the thing that made the problem bad in the first place. So yeah, I can say I'm thinking about that and not trying to be too wedded to my initial idea. But I don't really have a idea.
Sure. No, that's fine. Looking at the data that you've got, now that you're up close to this and at the other end, give us an engineering roll, actually.
As I desperately scour fucking Memory Alpha for reference. Fuck yeah! That is a 10!
Dang!
You saw the face journey of the 6 and then the 1.
and then they're checking the 6 and the 1 with the right way round.
Yes. So that's a 10.
I do that every time. I go, hang on, which is the good one? Oh, yes. Cool. It's that one.
Ray is as good as gold.
Cool. Yeah, so with the 9 on the science and the 10 on the engineering. Go team. You have a look at the data that you've got coming in from Casey, and what you have a look at is the link between the point you're at now, the point you're around, and where the Krasnikov is. Now, you could do whatever you're doing or whatever your plan is with the Iskandar at this end. But now that you're up close to this and the Krasnikov isn't in the way, you can see that there is still a link between where you are now and where the Krasnikov is. That elastic band metaphor from several sessions ago is still holding at this end and at the other. So maybe there is actually something that could be done using just the Krasnikov, given that it's still, in a sense, tied to where you're at the moment. Okay. And as you're pondering this data, there is a sudden lurch in the Iskandar. And the computer consoles start flashing. Something has clearly gone a little sideways with the Iskandar systems itself. And as you all recover from doing the Star Trek shuffle, flinging yourself across the screen a little, we will go to a break.
Yay.
Pizza!
Absolute anarchy.
Welcome back, folks!
This half
He's got
of
pizza!
this half of Star Trek Scandal is sponsored by Papa John's.
Making us
Papa
neutral with Papa
Please
John's.
sponsor us, Papa John's. I will sell out if that meant that we got free pizza every session.
I'm not gonna lie, and I know this is not a popular opinion. I fucking love Papa John's pizza.
I like Papa John's pizza. I just don't like
You
the dip.
can. I like Papa John's pizza. I don't like Papa John.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Papa John is a real piece of shit. That's not a meme. He just sucks.
It just sucks.
But thankfully, it's kind of like a Kat Von D situation. Like it's called Papa John's. He has nothing to do with the company anymore. I eat my pizza. Leave me alone. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. Let me have my pizza.
So, hello everyone.
So,
Shouted
now that
to
you've got past
Landra.
the advert section of Star Trek Iskandar, we have adverts now, apparently. Nobody told me.
It includes screeching, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
As all adverts should.
It's true.
All adverts should involve somebody screeching, there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, because there is no ethical consumption under capitalism.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Scandal.
Hey! Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Star Trek! So, welcome back. This is the energy we've acquired during the break. When we left off, Reyes and Casey have been respectively engineering and science gremlining on the bridge, making themselves look very suspicious, even though they keep chanting, "Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious." The more they chant that, the worse it gets. But they haven't realised this yet. Maybe they'll realise next loop. And the Iskandar has just lurched rather alarmingly as all the computer systems have flickered. Time in!
Like
Hassan's
Casey's.
immediate report.
I think there's like a moment where he just quietly says to himself, "Oh no!" Like as the dawning realization of, if we're dealing with a time anomaly, that doesn't mean that the detonation occurs at the same time. And like a very genuine and frantic scrabbling across the sensors to get an idea of what is going on. And a sudden sharp realization, like all he could do is read out data. He very, very quickly comes to the conclusion of, I can't begin to indoctrinate the captain at this late stage as to what's going on.
Induct.
Indoctrinate.
the
Indoctrinate.
Now you believe in time hole. So yeah, I've just got to start reading out data. What has happened to the Iskandar?
Make us a check. Science. Science the science. It's not a hard science to do.
6.
Have you? 6 science?
6 sciences.
6 whole sciences?
Yeah.
Well, with 6 whole sciences, yeah, you could work out exactly what the problem is. The Iskandar is... It's not taking any damage. It doesn't, as far as you can tell, look like it's about to blow up. What has happened is that you have parked yourself on top of a rather nasty, big old space-time anomaly with lots of little microfractures in space-time, causing temporal anomalies, like what you experienced at the other end. But you parked yourself, instead of at the comparatively calm time eddy, You've gone for the rougher one. So that lag problem that you were having before, that was in the between ship to ship, is now one end of the ship to the other. What's just happened effectively is like tripping the circuit breakers between the bridge and the engines. Everything's still on. Everything's come back on fine for now. But there has been some kind of reset almost in the computer systems, as one end of the computer system said it's 10 seconds in the future. The other end of the computer system said, no, it's not, it's 7 seconds in the past. Panic! And the whole ship has basically had a brief blue screen.
This will be fed out as there seems to be a desynchronization in the computer system.
Lieutenant Cantos, get us further away from the anomaly if at all possible.
Aye, Captain.
Lieutenant Reyes, do what you can to stabilize our systems. All right. Reyes is going to try to essentially she'll send out messages to her engineering staff, and what she is going to try to do is to get groups working in physical sections of the ship to try to keep systems less reliant upon remote
keep things in sync.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Yes. It made sense in my head. Couldn't word it. Yeah. So of course that will not help necessarily with any instructions coming from the bridge, but it might stop it from being as bad as it could be.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. You can do that. Cantos backs you away from the center of this fracture in space-time.
And afterwards, Reyes is going to basically text Casey at his console with, do we need to send a new transmission? A new dead drop.
Yes. Is the response to that?
In fact, yeah, Reyes will reply with on it because she did it before, and is going to. So yeah, she'll say she will send back, prep communications, prep the packet, and instruct him to prep the package. Even if it's just actually sticking, presumably just everything we just fucking got of a sensor feed, rather than trying to make it fancy. To try to send it out in case we're about to blow up.
Yeah, I do so.
We're all doing our jobs.
Well, doing your jobs. Okay. So, prepping the dead drop, are you basically packaging up the same information you had before, plus what additional stuff you've acquired?
Is it?
What are we chucking into the...
Which, I guess, to be fair, I think it's going to be both have different advantages and disadvantages. Resending the same thing with additions is going to be bigger, and thus has a chance of going wrong. Sending just the addendum runs the risk of both packages not being picked up.
Correct.
For now, Reyes is going to try to send a repeat, the bigger package with both sets of information in one, on the assumption that what we're sending isn't that much bigger. But that's what she's going to try to do.
Okay. What did we say it was last time? Was that an ops check or was that an engineering check? I think it was ops, because it's that kind of allocation of ships resources thing.
Yeah, because it's not physical work. This is very systemsy work.
It is very systemsy. So yeah, make us an ops check.
Okay. Six.
Okay. Yep, you managed to set up effectively the same thing again, on the same frequency, same adjustments to amplitudes that
Mm-hmm.
you're reasonably confident that out the other end, you'll have enough signal
Mm-hmm.
that it doesn't get lost in the noise,
Yeah.
and set up so that it will get sent to the same 4-dimensional coordinates as last
I'm
time.
sure there's no problem with us sending the same thing, with us sending multiple things across the same thing. I'm sure that can't possibly go wrong. But everything can go wrong in some particular way, so fuck it. Let's do this one.
The ship has backed away from the anomaly. You send out your engineers.
Mm-hmm.
For now, everything seems to be all right. You still have just under an hour
Mm-hmm.
until what you expect to be the Krasnikov's destination time.
Oh shit, we panicked. We sent it too soon.
What do you do?
Well, I think Athan, having been... Well, we have an actual problem here. This is clearly an unstable region of space. Dispatch some boys to send a warning to stop any ships from approaching this immediate region. That's probably to Kowalski, I guess.
That sounds like a Kowalski
yeah.
job, yeah.
And
Chifley goes, yes, Captain. And starts.
Lieutenant Casey, I want us to figure out what we can do to rectify this problem.
Yes, Captain. Start doing that. Knowing full well we can't.
Reyes is going to lean forward.
You have the information all ready to hand for
Yeah.
what you think you can do to rectify this problem.
Reyes does lean forward. Captain? I don't think Athan likes that tone. That doesn't sound like a tone Athan would like. It's actually very possible, considering that Lieutenant Casey was theorizing that this subspace anomaly and rupture was caused by a warp field of some description, that we might be able to correct this ourselves with modifications to our own deflector array. What do you think, Lieutenant Casey?
I think that is entirely plausible, Captain.
Thumb back. Very well. Start taking a look and give me a proposal. I think it'll take some modifications to the systems, but we'll get to work, right, Lieutenant?
Yes, Lieutenant.
I thought it looks kind of suspicious at this vibe, but doesn't get in the way. She orders the Iskandar to hold position if we're out of the way of the anomaly, and right now we're on guard duty of like a really big space pothole.
Pretty much, yeah. Closer to a big space sinkhole than a pothole. Like,
Yes,
it's worse
that's
than a
true.
pothole.
Yes,
the other end would be a pothole.
That's true. Yeah, Ray's all bounced up. Right, let's get down to engineering.
Lead the way.
So yeah, once in the turbo lift. Right, I don't think we want to end up overwhelming the... We don't want to keep sending out data packages. And to be fair, I'm not necessarily sure that there's anything much which in the time we've got left we'd come up with, which is going to be a thing. So what are the risks if we do this badly? Because we don't want to make the situation worse, but the way I see it, we have a chance of attempting this. And if we transmit what we've tried to do, like make sure the bridge sees what we're attempting to do, this raises the chance of someone remembering if it doesn't work. But I don't want us to rip the hole bigger.
We have no way of knowing whether or not what we could do would harm the hole or not. It would depend entirely if our deflector array comes even close to the unique signature of their warp core.
I mean, we're not doing the exact same thing, but yeah, like I'm actually thinking that maybe we need to do this with the Krasnikov, but like that's the thing which we figured out once, we'll figure it out again. let's give it a try. And we can just stop if we think we're making it worse. Like, let's
Yes.
not push it once we try. Right.
Okay.
We're swinging into trying a dress rehearsal with the maybe we can actually pull it off, because also Reyes doesn't fancy dying.
Okay. Okay.
Let's fuck this situation up more.
What's the worst that can happen?
Break space and time.
You could break space and time. You might not, though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find out.
So yeah, let's modify the deflector array to be a parabolic emitter, and adjust the matter-antimatter flow to create an amplifier for the laser intensity. Because I kept notes.
No, glad somebody did. Grand, give us an engineering roll now.
Okay. That was a 1 and a 1, so that's a 5.
Okay. Okay.
However, I'm going to spend
Do you want a fate point?
fate point for, because like she is getting the entire, like, the engineering gang together. This is a all hands on deck situation for starting to get this work done, because some of this is just going to take manpower. So I'm going to, and also I have Casey and we've been a team, so I'm going to use ships don't work without a team. And I will just do a flat +2 to make that a 7.
To make it a 7. Yeah, that seems like a sensible choice here.
Yes.
Teamwork!
Everything is awesome.
So yes, with the 7, you are able to make the appropriate adjustments to the deflector array, to the matter-antimatter emitter, matter-antimatter flow, to the warp field emitter, and get everything set up. This takes you about 40 minutes, 45. You have about 15 left until you reckon the Krasnikov goes.
We've just got
to you still need to move back as well.
Yeah, and convince the captain.
And convince the captain.
I think we've got to just bat this one real hard. Even if we've got to tell the truth.
I think
let's not open with the truth, because that can take time. Let's open with we've got a solution. We don't want this situation to get worse. Let's just do the thing.
Okay.
Let's go. Scamper back to the lift. Scamper back to the bridge.
Pull back to the bridge. You burst onto the bridge.
Lieutenants?
Captain, we have a solution that we are going to recommend that we enact.
All right. What is it?
He will detail the scientific element. He's taking a lesson from before. Not enough science to bore the captain. Just a very quick, I propose we do this, the effect are this, and this is the benefit. Not saying we're in a time loop just yet.
I guess I'm going to probably just make this simple and ask for a rapport. Like, I would be easier, I think, with a rapport check. Like, because the things I can see Athan being concerned about are this is happening very quickly. But at the same time, Athan doesn't necessarily have reason to think that's a problem. So it's easier for my brain, I think, if we make this a rapport check.
Yep.
Cool. I got a 0.
Do you want to do anything with that?
I constantly seek the approval of my superiors.
Yeah. You little sucker.
You do.
I'm tempted just to make that a flat +2. It's too. It could go worse. So I think I'm just going to make it a flat +2.
It could go quite a lot worse, because that's a 0 on the dice, because you haven't got any rapport skill.
I have 1 rapport.
No, he has 1. It was a -1.
Oh, okay.
But still.
That could still go quite a lot worse, to be fair. That could go like -5.
Yeah.
So it's 2 on the dice. This does seem a little bit rash. not rash. I don't think that's the right description. This does seem a little bit rushed, Lieutenants.
There's like a brief moment where he looks to Reyes just to kind of read her expression, which he's not good at. He's not handing off to Reyes. He's kind of getting the read on.
I think Reyes like gives a slightly desperate look at Talandra.
Talandra inclines her head and says, "Perhaps, lieutenants, it would be best to fully brief the captain in what you have been doing."
Reyes frowns as that was not the support Reyes wanted. Lieutenants?
Captain, we are currently undergoing a time loop that, as of this moment in time, only Lieutenant Reyes and I have any recollection of, but our recollections of the previous loops have been thorough. I hope this goes some way of explaining our unusual behavior.
What's the nature then of this time loop?
An unstable experimental warp core aboard the Krasnikov is about to detonate in approximately 15 minutes. We've done all we can. In previous loops, we have been working with a dead drop that seems to sit outside of the range of the detonation that we've been able to ping signals from. We weren't able to come to a full remedy this time around.
So you want to attempt this, suggesting that we have approximately less than 15 minutes left?
At the very
10
minutes. 10 minutes. I would call it a Hail Mary.
Let's do this. However cranky Athan is, she doesn't tell her crew to fuck off in situations like this. She's not that bad a captain when she's cranky. Reyes like springs over towards the engineering and is kind of verbalizing a lot of what she's doing. In fact, is definitely verbalizing a lot of what she's doing, and she is trying to boil it down to basic verbalizing it in basic concepts. What Reyes is doing is narrating in case anybody else remembers.
Yes, I love it.
We just see one fucking bridge ensign just go, yeah, we have been here before.
Next
I do
time,
remember.
Helmsley's gonna fucking remember.
Helmsley. Helmsley.
Helmsley.
Helmsley.
Helmsley, that was it. Yes, no, it was the same as
Helmsley.
It is Helmsley.
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 Let's try to do the thing
Right.
in a Hail Mary and hope it doesn't make it worse.
Okay. So Kantos takes the Iskandar back towards the anomaly. As the Iskandar goes, it rocks like it's in a heavy sea. The ride is bumpy as hell. Consoles flicker. Not like before when everything did a hard reset, but the odd one flickers as you negotiate your way through the microfractures. They're now not really microfractures anymore. They're just full-on fractures in space-time now. You position yourselves as close to the center of the anomaly as you dare. And Kantor says, in position.
If this doesn't work, I think we need to do it from the Krasnikov. And Reyes does the thing. She's
okay.
Try to project the warp field manipulations of rather than creating it, trying to essentially project it as an emitter out of the deflector array. to try to manipulate the subspace aperture.
Okay. The warp core hums to life, and from the front of the Iskandar, there is a green light, laser focused into the center of this anomaly. Casey, you're monitoring excuse me, the fractures in subspace to see how they react to this. For a second, nothing seems to happen. And then some of them start to close. Shake your head.
Don't trust it.
Okay.
It's looking good. Then progress stalls for a moment. The Iskandar is still firing or focusing the warp field into this anomaly, but it now doesn't seem to be doing much more.
It's not enough. I think there is too much fine manipulation that our modifications aren't capable of doing. We're ending up trying to. There are subspace filaments that I don't think that we can detect or pick up or interact with just off these ad hoc modifications. Shit. Trying to like scan it to try to get the extra level of detail and
Yeah, you can do that. The warp field isn't at its fullest capacity that it could be as well. You could
crank up the power.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
You crank up the power.
Mm-hmm.
More of the fractures start to close. And then at the last second, the Krasnikov appears on top of the Iskandar, smashing into the Iskandar itself.
God.
The last words are, that's new. Did we suck it through like a straw? Was that us? Was this what happens anyway?
Is it me? Am I the drama?
And as the Krasnikov smashes through the Iskandar, and we pull out to see both ships in bits, there is then an explosion, flash of white light.
Oh, thank fuck.
Yeah, no, you're left adrift in two halves of a ship.
No, this is.
No, there is a flash of light, and it is stardate 57394.24, and a new day on the Iskandar.
We are a horrible goose,
and you're all horrible, horrible geese who need to make me your will checks.
Okay, we know more. Now it's just a question if anyone fucking remembers it.
Does Reyes not?
Hassan just got a critical fail.
Oh no. So
-4.
-4, Jesus.
Reyes just got a critical success.
So that's +7? Or are you 8?
I think she's 8. Oh no. She's 7.
She's 7 for a
Oh
crit.
no, it's time to go crazy. What have you got? Calavelrad.
Not great, not terrible?
No.
That's a face that says not great, not terrible.
Calavelrad. No, it's actually pretty good, but it is only a +3, but that's a 6 because that's how he.
Oh dang! Okay,
because he's got
that.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he's got the 3 will. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Izzy, you made an
nothing
interesting.
from this.
You made an exciting face.
So, Talandra got a +6. That's by the by. That's neither here nor there. Arkady Burov got a +1.
Burov!
+1! I'm getting there. Don't worry about it. I'm putting it together. Figuring things out.
I'm sure.
Science, strength, and security, Hembo.
Casey got a 1.
Oh, fuck!
Zal got 7.
Listen, Zal,
He's breached. He's breached.
I need Zal in this adventure.
Yes!
I had to do my maths like 3 times because I couldn't believe it.
Incredible.
What a wild set of results.
He's just doing bench presses, and then he's like, "Whoa."
However, it's been getting worse and worse and worse the more we remember as well. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I don't know what the.
Well, yes, we are starting with Mike.
Once now, we finally see
Zal's
Zal's
morning.
morning. I'm loving this as a little like way for us to see people's individual mornings.
It's so good. I love
Close
it.
my zillion memory alpha tabs because I think I'm past needing to find bullshit Treknababble. For
Jesus, this is awful.
now. Oh dear.
I'm just loving the reactions from y'all. Izzy is there.
Oh no. Oh no.
Do-do-do-do. Right. And has that been everybody? I don't think it has.
You haven't technically done a Tharn, but I assume everything is fine.
Yeah, I thought everything is fine. Everything is super fine.
normal.
It's the most normal day to ever normal, as far as Athan is concerned.
I am loving her dog shit. Fucking dice
I'm
roll.
so happy with her dog shit rolls.
It's so much more
great.
fun for a Tharn to be an obstacle to be navigated than.
So, Stardate 57394.24. It's a new day on the Iskandar. Lieutenant Karis Zal, let's start with you.
Zal gets up. He puts on his sweats. It is our disco equivalent shirt, so it just says ISK on it. And he goes for his morning jog around the corridors. But it is only but around 2 corners that he's starting to get a very severe sense of deja vu. Like it's the whole kind of preempting things, like they're going to drop their tricorder, and they do, and like frowns at that as he jogs past, and then kind of sees another thing, and like already is moving out of the way from someone he was going to shoulder barge, kind of frowns at that, and then makes it back to his room, gets himself an Andorian coffee and some like fruits and yogurt, and tries to put on like a I don't know, mid 21st century basketball game to take his mind off it, but he's just kind of like stabbing the fruit in the bowl, not really looking at it, not really paying attention to the game. I need to talk to someone. Gonna go find Arkady Burov.
Okay. Burov. I'm assuming what you're doing now is basically exactly what's happening on Burov's morning.
Yeah. But look, when people are talking about their mornings, I just do a little dance because that's my Arkady morning, and I know that doesn't change. So I think Zal probably charges out at about the perfect time that Burov comes around the corner, coffee in hand, ready to go to a lovely day in sick bay. Good morning, Gaddis.
How many times have you done this?
Well, I've been here a few months. Coming to a year? Oh, it's nearly my anniversary on the ship. Should probably have a party. Oh, right now, because I did have to double back to get my coffee because I forgot it and I wanted to have it on my walk. We weren't supposed to have breakfast this morning, were we?
No.
Because I thought we were doing lunch later.
We are doing lunch later. I'll sort you out a party for your anniversary.
You don't need to throw me a party for anything. But I like a party. Are you okay?
No.
Like, I think Arkady immediately goes for, like, reaches for the wrist, pulls out, like, low-key medical tricorder in that way that just any nurse friend will just check your forehead. Like, Arkady just goes, "Are you okay, Karis? You seem a little stressed."
Yeah.
Your pulse
that
is
might
more
be
elevated
something
than usual.
I think something wrong. I'm remembering this day. I'm remembering a lot of this day.
Oh no. You too. Because yesterday I know that Lieutenant Commander Talandro was worried about something similar. Yesterday? Yeah,
Talandra was worried about something similar.
yesterday. I did a little scan. Her brain's fine. You want to check your
Okay.
brain?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Maybe we should get breakfast.
Scan, then
Looking-
breakfast.
You're looking a little lilac.
I'll be okay. Scan, breakfast.
Okay. Come on.
I lumber down to sick bay.
And I think Arkady probably goes to exactly the same biobed and is like briefly confused that it's not already calibrated for a brain scan because they're sure they did that yesterday and didn't.
Yeah, that was totally yesterday.
But also like people reset things, like that's fine. Boop 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 boop. Let's see what's in Karis's brain. Doing a medicine check. Yeah, that's a 5, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as long as it's a positive number.
Yeah.
It's like a fairly normal Andorian brain. That sure is a brain in there.
Congratulations, Karis. You do still have a brain.
It's good to know.
And it seems to not be having any wild hallucinations. So why don't you tell me what's going on?
It's nothing more than I've already said. It's like I've been here before. Countless times.
Well, deja vu is a common thing some people have. Sometimes it's just when you're doing the same thing every day, you can feel like you're sort of in a bit of a rut. Have you thought about changing up your jogging route? Maybe?
Maybe I'll try that.
Nevertheless, I can tell this is really bothering you.
It is, but I'll be okay.
I think I'm going to sign you off for the day. I want you to spend the day and do some new things, like get different synapses firing. I think you've possibly been overworking yourself with being the chief security officer.
Okay.
There, I've done it. I was going to hand you a slip of paper, but then I forgot we're in the space, and
What
I don't
is
have to.
what is paper?
I don't even know. I don't think I've ever seen it, but I've beeped it through on the boop, and you have a good day, and we'll still get lunch, okay?
That sounds great. I'll see you at lunch.
Okay. Well, look after yourself. I want to hear all about something fun you did this morning.
I promise I will. Let the door close behind me.
And I think probably Arcady will just turn to someone nearby and be like, Nurse, I think I've been having a bit of deja vu as well. I swear, we all need a bit of a break.
Whereas like Zal out of the room, like the face drops. We're gonna blow up. Like taps the badge. Zal to Talandra.
There's a bit of a pause, and then they just hear, Talandra here, go ahead.
I'm remembering this day as if it's happened before.
Meet me in Astrometrics immediately.
I feel it's only pertinent to tell you that I've been signed off duty by Dr. Arkady Borov. I'm still coming to Astrometrics.
Doo-doo.
Cool. All right. This is good.
Cool.
This is good.
Cool.
Surely I can help this.
The bros are having an adventure.
I'd like to quickly, at what point in Talandra's day will Zal have messaged her in the timeline?
There's had to have been enough time for Zal to wake up, morning jog, fruit, yogurt, basketball, out and find Arcady, get a scan, find out that he's still got a brain.
Then I think it's pertinent. I don't know if Talandra showed up for breakfast, but Elrad did not.
I think what happened is, I think I'm going to say that after her talk with Zal, Talandra will message Elrad because she's realized that she's late, and they're going to have a I'm late. You know what? Who? What? Kind of thing.
Actually, no, there's no response.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
Computer, locate Mr. Elrad.
He's in his quarters, according to the computer.
Talandra to Lieutenant Reyes.
Oh no! Energy changing very rapidly in my head.
I had to go from Arcady to Talandra.
I'll try another one of Kath's characters and ask what Kath's other character is.
Reyes has rolled out of bed. Yeah, okay. I think Reyes has probably spent quite a bit of time like eating and freaking out in her quarters, just for convenience's sake. Because otherwise
Get me
she would
Lieutenant
have
Vance.
come into a wrecking ball at some point in time. No. In fact, I think what will have happened to fill Reyes's time is that Reyes has gotten up, freaked out. A puppy!
A boy! It's a boy!
And has gone like racing through the corridors to try to intercept wherever the fuck Casey is on his morning, which is probably going to be like a slide out the corridor in front of him wherever he is. Lieutenant.
You well?
Fine. Fuck. Carry on.
He cries.
And as Reyes rounds the corner, her comm badge goes. Commander.
There is a pause where Talandra is very clearly trying to read everything from that 3-syllable word. And then we'll say, "Good morning, Lieutenant."
How are you today, Commander?
Kindly meet me in astrometrics, Lieutenant.
Is something weird going on, Commander?
Yes, there is.
You're right. Great. Well, not great. Okay, see you there.
I'm having a situation room.
Scampers to astrometrics.
Hey.
Oh my god, Reyes and Zal meet outside.
Zal gets there no, Zal has just come in. As Reyes kind of scrambles into the room, you know, gremlin your way in, and Zal's just there and goes, "Hey."
What do you
We're
think?
gonna blow up.
Yes, we're gonna blow up.
How much do you recall, Lieutenant?
The Krasnikov came through. That's probably what's actually going on. That I don't know if we did it, but I don't think that we did it. I think that the elastic band is going ping, and it is dragging the Krasnikov, maybe ripping it apart. It was hard to tell, through the subspace rift, and then out the other end to detonate, which probably sent the explosion rippling back through the subspace rift.
The difficulty being that both vessels are still connected, but it is the connection that forms the rubber band of...
Well, we weren't there on previous occasions. It's the Krasnikov alone can do it. I think us being there I don't know what us being there did to it to change what happens regularly, but I think I was thinking this before, but it was too late last time for us to do anything about it, so we pushed ahead with the plan. So I think what we need to do is actually going to be from aboard the Krasnikov to rectify the situation.
Lieutenant Casey?
Doesn't have a clue.
May I leave you to get Lieutenant Zal up to speed? I have to check on something.
All right. Reyes is clearly like, what the fuck is more important than this? But she doesn't question it.
Talandra, before she goes, basically opens up the astrometrics board to, like, Lieutenant Commander level clearance, just to let Reyes do things while she's gone.
Montage, simple, cut out, crayons, explanation for the jock.
No, like, I think as she leaves, he's looking at the door for a second. And then he looks at Reyes and says, "So we need to breach a ship."
We might have to talk our way in.
All right.
That's the preferable. That's preferable.
Agreed.
And Reyes brings Zal up to speed.
Talandra goes
we
at
get that
long-legged...
montage of paper, pen, elastic band, ping, and all of that. Meanwhile,
Talandra is going at long-legged speed up to the door of Calavelrad.
Okay. Door is locked.
Dee-dee. Dee-dee. Mr. Elrad, it's Lieutenant Commander Talandra. Kindly open the door. Mr. Elrad, I am concerned about your well-being. Kindly open the door. Mr. Elrad, a situation is unfolding. I have reason to believe you have memories of it. Those of us who remember are gathering in astrometrics. I would appreciate it if you would be there. If there is something that is stopping you from being there, I would like you to let me know so I can remove it as a variable in my plans. Mr. Elrad, if I have reason to believe that you are unwell, I shall inform the doctor, and the doctor has every right to breach this door.
The door opens. The lights inside are out.
guess Talandra steps in. She's not expecting to get attacked. It's dark. She's just like, okie dokie, this doesn't strike any of her memories as something that she should be expecting.
Okay. It's funny that's the expectation, because when the door does get shut, she is actually going to be tackled by Kalev Elrad.
I guess we're fighting.
Yes, I guess we're
Yes,
fighting.
you are. Also, Kath, what the fuck?
I love it. I have no idea what you're doing, and I'm so here for
I
it.
have no clue what's happening
You gave me
anymore.
prompts, and I realized
I did.
things.
I did give you prompts, and you're running with the prompts, and I love you for it, but also what the actual
I
fuck?
guess, what is initiative in this situation? Is it notice?
Mm.
Okay.
It's notice, but given that this is effectively sneak attack fucker.
Yeah.
I guess it's Kalev goes first.
Yeah, it just, how, he will definitely go first, but how aware she is of it.
He gets the surprise round, if you like.
Yeah, how aware she is of it will depend on what she does, if that helps.
Yeah.
So,
So
I
still
got
roll
a
those
4
notice
on my
checks.
notice.
Okay, so did Talandra, which
Mhm.
just means
Okay.
that she's not, like, literally startled by it. She is taken by surprise, if that
Yes.
makes that makes sense in my
It's still
head.
taken by surprise, but you've gone in quite wary, tense. Something's
Okay,
clearly
well,
not
that's
right.
a crit on his fight, but that's okay. He's not trying to hurt her.
Do you know what then? I am going to say it's a crit on his fight, which means whatever he wants to do,
Yeah.
she is warily, like, she does the thing where you sort of fall into it rather
Yep.
than resisting and potentially getting hurt.
Okay,
So
yep. That sounds good.
she steps in, the door's shut behind, and then, like, as he had been flat against the side of the door, like, somewhat hidden, Elrad launches himself at her, and he is basically going to try to pin her to the ground, arm behind the back, full on, like, restrain move to the floor. And he goes, I know this isn't really not going to get into my head anymore.
Talandra is very, very still. Takes a moment. Kalev, where do you think you are?
We are on Cardassia Prime. We are not on the Iskandar. I have not set foot on the USS Iskandar in months. The crew of the Iskandar are likely dead.
What is the last thing you remember, Kalev?
This isn't real. Whatever this you're attempting to do to make me to relive something, however this is you're attempting, this is not going to break me.
No. Of course it isn't. It can't. Because you got out of Cardassia Prime. You've been out for some time.
Why should I trust you?
Because the deepest goal of the thread of respect is to find a source of sanctity inside one's own mind, which can be achieved through many means: contemplation, respectful living. You had the privacy of your mind violated by your own people. There is preciousness in intimacy. Invading one's own mind leads to torment, which is something I would never do.
He very suddenly, like, lets her go and then moves away with his back to, like, the other side of the room. Like, still kind of poised, but backing away.
She very slowly pulls herself to her feet, does the thing where you sort of adjust your uniform back down and puts her hands behind her back in a non-threatening fashion, says, "You felt as if you have relived this day before."
Yes.
You have memories of this day happening and ending poorly.
Yes.
So do I. Currently, I believe the only other two members of the crew who do remember are Lieutenant Zal and Lieutenant Reyes. I believe Lieutenant Reyes was not the chief engineer when you were aboard the Iskandar the first time. Therefore, it would be illogical for her to be a creation of the Cardassian government in order to manipulate you. We were supposed to have breakfast this morning, as we do most days when I start work after breakfast.
I'm sorry.
I believe, given the circumstances, there is very little for you to apologize for, Caliph. I am unharmed, and I am not in any way frightened of you. I do not believe you would have hurt me.
They did everything they could to make me doubt my senses, my surroundings, the very reality of where I was. And to wake up and feel again that I could not trust my senses, my recollection, my place.
What they did was unforgivable.
It's not how. There is a problem aboard, and that is more important.
That is not how I would put it. But I understand that the ship's situation is currently more pressing.
I do not know how I can be of any assistance in any of these undertakings. You are the first officer of this ship.
I believe that the more of us that are together, the more likely we are to remember everything that is necessary. Nevertheless, I will give you the time you need if you wish to compose yourself. I'm sorry to have intruded on your space.
You didn't intrude on my space. You have
It was perhaps inappropriate of me to invoke Dr. Burov in a matter that should have been one of your own privacy. And I assure you, on any other day, I would...
I understand entirely why, under the circumstances, you thought it was... There could have been... Under the circumstances, Delandra, you thought that something could have been amiss, and you were correct.
I was more concerned that you would have harmed yourself.
I don't know what assistance I can be in trying to aid in the Iskandar attempting to deal with a subspace rupture.
We will be in astrometrics. We will be in astrometrics should you change your mind.
Of course. I am sorry.
As I said, whilst your apology is accepted, there was no need for it. She will turn on her heel and head out of his room. Return to astrometrics.
Ugh, that's the good shit.
Can't trust your senses, you say, your memories. There are 4 lights, you say.
And I forgot, I checked the Kashara, and like so many of the analytics of Surak are like, you leave people's minds alone. Mind torture, the worst kind of torture.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Talandra doesn't mind meld. And Vulcans who do are bad.
Well. So we follow Talandra back down to Astrometrics.
Gremlining.
Leaving
walks-
Elrad being sad and confused in his room.
Walks in on Reyes going, no, 12, 12. And Kara's having to write something down. I believe it is the three of us then.
That's fine. That's fine. Be useful to have Casey, but not essential. Also, he'll pretty much do whatever you tell him to do. So
I would hope that that is the duty of many lieutenants aboard this ship, Lieutenant.
yeah, but this is about to get weird.
What do you need from me, Reyes?
I think we need to try to pick up the. Oh, we don't have Casey, but we can. But Zal, you can do this because you have access to comms. We need the dead drop because there's an awful lot of information that I can't remember.
Sure.
I remember the gist. That's it. I think then we need to do the thing where we get the captain on board and then we get on board the Krasnikov again. But I think we need to try to do that as quickly as possible. I think we need to get the dead drop, remind ourselves of what the hell's going on, or possibly you just try to get the captain outside while we try to get the dead drop, and I refresh myself on what's going on while we try to get to the Krasnikov at all haste.
How? This is more of a GM question. How far are we from the Krasnikov? Are we in communication range of the Krasnikov?
Oh, not yet. Give it about another 20 minutes, half an hour, and you'd be probably within communications range.
Sooner, if we get there sooner, especially if we get there sooner before the, if possible, before any of the time lag starts to kick in, then we've got more time. I think we need to try to get the Krasnikov to utilize its systems to close it. Maybe travel back through successfully and close. I don't know, but I'm not sure that it's possible for the Iskandar to close with its systems to close the aperture. Now I know more about it, we might be able to better use the systems on board the Krasnikov to finish closing the gap that they made. GM, how bullshit is that idea? Get the Krasnikov to basically repeat the jump through the same points, but sealing it properly as they go.
That seems pretty plausible to you. That sounds...
It's like bad... It's like a bad wound which needs restitching. Like, it's healed up badly and you need to cut it and then stitch it, kind of. Yeah.
Zal, Reyes, collect the dead drop and prepare your synthesis. I will go and brief the captain. Meet in the captain's ready room for a full briefing.
Yes, Commander.
Yes, Commander.
Talandra once again goes to go. Now, Captain. Time loop.
Time loop, you say, XO? Time loop. Because I think everything's fine, I'm very easily convinced by my emotional support, Vulcan.
Yeah, I imagine the scene for Athan and Talandra will jump when Talandra reaches the bridge and goes, Captain, a word in your ready room, if you please. And we'll cut to Athan being like...
Jump to the end of the explanation.
Yeah.
Being like, I think the Krasnikov's within range.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, if we're to try to convince the crew of the Krasnikov that they need to do something, let's make sure that we have absolute command of the facts as possible. But let's proceed to them at all haste. That's not going to be suspicious, so we have the time of the journey. And we have at least the time of the journey. We can hail them ahead of time if we need to, but let's make sure that we're comfortable in what we're doing. Proceed to the Krasnikov with all haste and communicate with them when we get there or when we're ready to try to convince them.
Lieutenant Reyes is collecting the information from her dead drop at the moment, but I have a recollection that Lieutenant Reyes and Commander Ares did not see eye to eye when last they spoke.
Who's going to be the best for convincing them? I can obviously make the appeal captain to captain, and with the back and support of my crew being confident, then hopefully the CO of the Krasnikov will be cooperative, but I don't know the staff.
Forgive me, Captain, I have many overlapping memories of people who were more or less helpful depending on the circumstances. However, I believe Commander Ares is precious of her project.
Then let's try to make sure we have the science on our side as much as possible before rather than just asking them to take a leap of faith on us as another Starfleet crew.
Yes, Captain.
Let's get heading then. So without yet hailing the Krasnikov, because we'll have a little bit of time for a journey, but Athan is this time instructing Kantos to take the Iskandar with all haste to the location of the Krasnikov, with the assumption that we can talk to them when we get there, or we can hail them if we figure like we're ready. But
while you're en route, yep,
get our ducks in a row.
They will do that. The Iskandar zooms off across space towards where the Krasnikov is. And I'm trying to think, that feels like a good stopping point for tonight. As the Iskandar whooshes off, we see the Krasnikov in the distance. And for once, we don't end a session on an explosion.
It's a good sign. Good sign if ever there was one.
Ladies, gentlemen, MVs, that has been this session of Hysteresis.
Woo!
Ugh, you guys. All three of you, that
We've done
was
some good shit this session.
Like,
Yeah. That was what my face journey was when reading it, of being like the loop of how many times have you been here now? Have you forgotten things? You're starting to doubt your recollections. I was like, oh yeah, but oh no.
and love that that's where your brain went.
I'm in a glass case of emotion. And how
Like, that's really
Talandra
just
just
such a fucking loop.
and how Talandra just logicked him down, and she's like,
And also he's like, you know what? I don't think that the interrogators on Cardestia Prime are this good. But yes, like successfully logicked him down by and also was sufficiently Talandra. Plus, like, he wasn't full on like, no, this is definitely what's going on. He was freaking out.
but also because any other sort of mind torture device, program would be like, no, I'm Talandra, honest.
That's true.
And then she's just like, why?
Why?
You haven't even met Lieutenant Reyes yet. If this is your timeline,
Why did you invent? Who would invent that?
Why would you invent this engineering gremlin? You like Strange. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
That's true.
And then she's just like, I have thoughts about the Koshara, and he's like,
There we go.
some complicated thoughts about the Koshara my not girlfriend has there.
Yep.
Yep. Also, Zal remembering just that whole sequence. So good.
Because it's such an awful different perspective of I've lived this day 15 times and I died at
And
the end of
only
it.
just remembered.
Yeah.
Everyone else has been remembering as they go. Zal has
If
had
he-
that realization
If
hit
he
him.
pushed it,
all
if
at
he
once.
pushed it, Arcady might have remembered, but Arcady was just like, huh, that's kooky. Anyway, have a good day. Well, you just need a break. Bye.
Bye. That was
I look
good
forward
shit.
to the day that only Arcady remembers and nobody else does, and they're like, what? What? A dead drop? What? Ooh.
You need to get the dead drop, Arcady.
Huh?
Your messages are, the information is inside the computer.
Computer, give secret knowledge, please. Computer.
King. But no, you all three of you were superb tonight. That was.
So are you.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
for
some good
running.
shit.
I didn't do much. I mostly sat here and ate proverbial popcorn while you guys like role played at each other.
Oh,
Great.
I am enjoying the Reyes Casey duo.
Oh, the Reyes Casey gremlin.
Such brain, such bad,
genuinely
but
need-
very differently bad social skills.
I
It's
laughed
like-
so much. I nearly snorted coffee out my nose.
You know-
Not even exaggerating. There was a brief moment of, oh god, I can feel the coffee in my nose. I'm gonna stop.
And you know it's bad when Talandra is like, I'm overseeing this in case they need someone to translate.
Because they need an adult.
Because they're a responsible adult.
It's
They're
like
just there
in a
in their
show.
respective bins.
Like they've realized these actors have good chemistry, so they've written them like this subplot. Like they've got no reason to be there.
I like the idea that Talandra is now experiencing Gremlin Reyes, and then just goes, and Elrod's like, do you need me? Do you really need me? I'm having a bit of a breakdown. I can come and help, but I don't know what I can do. And she just goes, if you feel up to it, you can come, but otherwise, maybe separate you from the gremlin.
From the gremlin.
Good.
Yeah. That was some good stuff. So yeah, I think we'll be back next week.
Hysteresis.
Fine from him.
Yeah, we're all good. Grand. In that case, barring anybody's internet shitting itself or any other of the myriad reasons we occasionally need to not be here, then we will be back next week for the next part of Hysteresis. I guess we don't have any Patreon related outros.
I can't log into it at the moment. Leave me alone.
That's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna leave you alone.
Fuck
Not keep talking
off.
about it.
Go
It's all good.
home. It's home
Bye.
time.
We love you.
Ah.